Right, in these troubled times, it's not very nice at times, and we're all stuck indoors. Trevor from Alder's Farm rang me and asked me to do a little clip that we're going to pass on to you. And one of the things that you can do while you're off is set your box up. It's very important that you get your posture right on your box so you're sat comfortable. And one of the first things that when I go take somebody coaching, first thing I ask them are they left or right-handed, and that depends on the type of where they're going to put everything, whether you're left or right. I'm right-handed, so everything that I'm going to show you will be for a right-handed person. So if you're left-handed, just reverse it. But box setup, posture on your box. I can walk around a lake and I can actually tell people if they're going to have a bad back or not, or a back that's aided. What you've got to remember, a box, right? I've got two assistants with me at the moment as well, so that's just to help. But your box, you sat on it for a long time. You sat on it 5-6 hours in a day, so you need to be comfortable. And I have a few little tips that I'm going to show you that will help you be a bit more comfortable. I'm not saying they're right or they're wrong, I'm saying they're what I do. So, first thing is the box. Like I said, the box is the most important piece of fishing equipment there is, in my opinion. And to get it set up, it's pretty simple. On them, you've got spirit levels. I don't even think about them. And I don't use spirit levels. I use that. A tub of water that's 3/4 full with water. Bait tub, basically, that's 3/4 full with water. The first thing to do is when you get your box is you want it as low to the ground as possible. I see it with people having the legs extended all the time so they're actually sat up in the air. You don't want to do that. You want it as low as you can to the ground. So extend all the legs to the bottom of the base. That way you're comfortable, you're nearer the water and you're not rocking on the box. The next thing is you want your platform flat. As flat as you can. You don't want it tilted because you want your feet flat. And the way to see that it's flat when it's fully extended is to get your bait tub, or your measuring and put it straight in the middle. Now what I'm looking at is the water there on the inside. I want it to be perfectly level all the way around. So if it's like that, I know that it's tilting one way or the other, or front and back. So if one side is higher, it tells you that it's the wrong thing. For a platform, it needs to be level all the way round. and that is. So once you've got that, it's perfect. The next thing is the height of that, the front of the box, the front to there to where you're sat. And to get that right, Ben's going to show you, look. So what you do now, you stand on the box and you face the water and you bend your knees.
I think he's thirsty.
It's definitely live, this. Don't drink measuring bowl. The next thing you're looking at is the nick of the knee. And the front of the box wants to come to an inch below the nick of the knee, so that your knee is folding round the box. So when you get the nick of the knee, it wants to be, the level of the front of the box needs to be an inch below. So that's what you're trying to do. But the next thing is this. This is the most important part now. Sorry, Ben, get away. He's not happy. The most important thing now is that. This makes a difference between your back aching and not aching, because the back of the box wants to be 1/2 inch higher than the front. Not a lot. It doesn't want to slope. It's just enough. So it's 1/2 inch higher. So when I put that on the middle, when I'm looking at that now, I can see that the back is a bigger gap than the front. That tells me that it's slanted the opposite way. So that means when I'm sat on it, it means all the weight on my back is going backwards, which lifts my knees up and it makes me want to go forward, and that's where people get a bad back and an aching back. What you've got to do, have it 1/2 inch higher. So in other words, all I'm going to do with this at the moment is use the little legs at the bottom, 1/2 inch, and you can probably, I'm just going to overdo it a little now so you can actually see what I mean. And that's just a little bit now. so that when you put your spirit level on, like that, you can now see that there's a bigger gap there than there. That tells me that it's sloping very slightly towards the water. Then what that does, when you sat down, it transfers all the weight off your back onto your feet, which keeps your feet flat, which means your back's going to be straight then for when you're fishing. That's the best way to set a box up, and if you get that, trust me, you'll be more comfortable than you've ever been. The other thing, and one of the things I love about this new Signature 36, is the length of that tray. Because I'm tall and I've got long legs, the foot platform is quite long, and you can see that my posture is absolutely perfect, and I'm actually like that, which you should be. You don't want to be like that. If you're like that, your back will be killing you at the end of the shift. So I feel more comfortable, I'm relaxed and everything. So that's my box setup. The easiest way to set it up is on a flat floor at home. So while you're off, get your box out, set it up on a flat floor, and then if you go to a peg that's a little bit uneven, you've got your little extending legs that you can extend them to what you want and what you want to adjust it to. So once you've got that set up, then the two next things are this. I love these new trays. Anybody that knows me, I took a kid coaching and he had a back tray on, and I went, what's that? And he said, it's a back tray. And I loved it. I went straight home and made one. And now we brought these out. They're not made as a back tray, but I use this as a back tray. And all I do, I love a back tray, and I like a back tray because I can put all my accessories in. And just tighten it up, whatever distance it is, and the idea basically, I can put all my spare things. But this lad, who actually I took coaching, right, what he did, see, I can reach all my things quite easy now that behind, so I put all my tackle there. What he did, and it's a great thing, I don't use it for this, but all he did, he got his stacker from his tray and he kept it on the back tray so it's out of the mud and everything like that. And then at the end of the day, just picks it back up and puts it back. It just keeps everything out of mud. It keeps simple. I don't do that. What I do, I put all my extras and all my bits and bobs. And the next thing then is your main tray. Now this wants to be as long as the box, and there's a reason for that. First thing is, fix that onto the layer. You can have it as high as you want. It's really important, the positioning of this tray, because all my bait's going to be on there. So what I do is this. When I'm fishing, it's simple. My bait, my rods and my pole sections that way, and all my bits and bobs behind me. So I'm not reaching. Everything's at hand. And the most important part of any bait tray is this. Whenever you get your hand and you go like that on the tray, it's uncomfortable, you go like that, you don't look at it there on the bait tray. That is the most important part. Why? Because I naturally go to that position. So any bait you're using, you'll get Ben's water and it goes there. And the idea is this. I go like that and I'm straight into the spot. If the bait is elsewhere, you look for it. You're not concentrating out there. So if you're using maggots and you want to change, put that somewhere else and put the bait you're using in that spot. It's an easy way. You just sit there and go like that. And wherever that is, that's where the main bait is you're going to use, because you're going to, especially when you're using a catapult, you pick it up naturally like that. So it's important that you have a big bait tray with all your bait on. On this bait tray I can put my brolly there or there, put my landing net across it, and that is a basic setup. That, I think, is so important when you're fishing, because when I take people fishing, I teach them 10% of stuff done at home, 20% of stuff is done around here to make you comfortable all day, 70% is swim management, where all the fish are taking a swim. But if you get this part, you are comfortable, you'll concentrate on the fishing better, it's a lot easier. Your box is the most important piece of equipment you've got, because everything is adjusted to it. Your keep nets can come off it, everything else that you want, like your ropes, your rod rest, your back thing for your for feeder fishing like that, you can just go on the leg. But that to me is the perfect setup. I've never had it as good as that at the moment. It's a great setup, it's a great new system. So while you've got plenty of time, get it garage, get it on grass, get it set up, be more comfortable when you're fishing, and the most important thing is keep safe.